Hi, I'm Joe McCamley. I'm a founder and creative director at the Wonder Factory. And the reason I love working here is because it never seems like work. I've had a great career, but I think probably next to the Wonder Factory, my most interesting job was the first one I ever had. And there's kind of a long story associated with it. When I was graduating from high school, I was being recruited by Notre Dame to be a quarterback there, and I was also being recruited by Yale for their rowing team. I was barely 15 because I had skipped a couple of grades when I was in grammar school, and my mother just didn't feel I was ready for collegiate athletics. Athletes can be kind of mean to young kids, so we agreed that I'd try to do something else. But about that time, I was offered a scholarship to the Berklee School of Music, so I went up there to study trumpet. After about 2 weeks, I realized that I wasn't learning anything I could probably teach at the school, so I dropped out and never told my parents. And I had a little bit of money, so I took a Greyhound bus out to San Francisco. I always wanted to be there. And just kind of lived on the streets for a little bit. It sounds sad. It's not sad at all. I loved it. I just dug it completely. But eventually I had to have some money, so I just had this idea. I knew how to play the trumpet, so I took a refrigerator box and covered it with a sheet and cut a hole in the middle of it. Excuse me. And I wrote a sign on the top in spray paint and called it the Human Juke Box. And people could come up, and if they put a quarter into the slot, I would play a song, and I had a list of 10 songs that was on the side of the box. And just on a lark one day, I put as the 11th song, Flight of the Bumblebee, and said that for $50 I would play Flight of the Bumblebee. And darn it, I got about 20 requests for that a day. It's $1,000 a day working out of a refrigerator box, and I had just turned 15. So I did that for about a year, bought my first condominium. It was amazing. But eventually I was working in the street one day, and somebody slipped a business card into the slot, and I looked at it, and it wasn't really a business card, it was a handwritten card. It was a guy named Emilio Castillo, and he was, as it turned out, the founder of a group called Tower of Power. And he invited me to come play with them in Oakland. And it was a dramatic pay cut. Ever since that time out of the refrigerator box, I've done nothing but take pay cuts in my career. But it was a pay cut to go to the Tower of Power, but girls didn't want to date guys that worked out of refrigerator boxes, and girls wanted to date guys that played for Tower of Power. So I sold my franchise, a little known fact, I sold my franchise in that little box down by Fisherman's Wharf to Wynton Marsalis. And then I went off and played with Tower of Power for a while.